Hello, my name is Michael Porter, and what we want to do today is show the benefit of using the MindFit on a daily basis. And how we're going to do that is we're using the VitalScan HRV. What we've done is we've done a pre-test and a post-test after a 22-minute session with Randy Gonzalez. I met Randy this weekend in Las Vegas. I was at a show. What we were doing was introducing the MindFit to individuals, letting them know what a difference they can make for themselves and for their clients or patients. And what we're going to do is go over about 5 or 6 slides today just to show where Randy was before the 22-minute session and where Randy ended up after the 22 minutes. In Randy's case, before the session, he had a stress index of 107. So it should be somewhere between 10 and 100. Now, again, Randy's in Las Vegas. He lives on the East Coast. He's been there a couple days, probably hasn't got as much sleep, not able to exercise, maybe not eating as well as you normally would at home. So another reason why you want to take the MindFit with you and make sure that it's something you're doing on a daily basis when you're out of your element. So in this case, it was a good example to show while you're not doing what you normally do, it can make a difference, and even on a daily basis. Just taking the time during that stressful day to de-stress. So after the 22-minute session, Randy's stress index came in at 32. He had an autonomic nervous system balance index of 215, which was above the normal range. After the 22-minute session, 64. So well within the normal range, bringing both of these into a balance. And before the MindFit, he was mainly in CNS, which is central nervous system regulation. You want to see a balance here between the central nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. He was able to bring that back into balance, a little more to autonomic, but again, when you're out of balance like that, a lot of times the autonomic nervous system is going to kick in, bring you back to balance. And here, another thing that's measured is the vital force. Should be between 50 and 500. He was at 34, a little low. Not a lot of gas in the tank, so he was able to boost that back up within the normal range. So you're going to feel a lot better after the session, which he did. Now this next slide here, Randy's neurohormonal regulation was 34, and that shows an unstable neurohormonal regulation. But after the session, the 22-minute session, he's able to bring it up to a 96, which shows you an optimal neurohormonal regulation. So here, he brought it all the way up to here in just 22 minutes. Now from an energy standpoint, metabolic energy resources at 77, you'd like to see it between 150 and 600. After the session, 293, so a good boost to the metabolism, which can also help from a weight loss standpoint if you're wanting to boost the energy and keep yourself in fat burning mode. Randy's psycho-emotional state was at 34, which that tells you he was in a state of exhaustion. His central nervous system was. After the session, now, as you can see, his central nervous system is in maximal optimal function condition. So in just 22 minutes, again, he was able to go all the way back to normal, above normal actually, because this would be the balanced state, highly functional. Now from a brainwave standpoint, because of everything we just described a minute ago, probably not getting as much sleep and the stress, 60% of his brainwaves were in delta. What you want to see is this right here. What you see here is almost exactly what you're looking at here. So that's a frequency spectrum of activity in the brain that's characteristic of fatigue and stress. So what he was able to do in just 22 minutes is pretty much bring it up into this, almost normal state with, again, a little bit of delta but he was able to bring this way down, bring these back up so you're more focused, more aware. Brain more alive, as you can see here. His level of biorhythm coherence was 42. So Randy was just under the normal range, but after a 22-minute session, he was well within the normal range, in the high end of that. Randy's 35, but his body was mirroring that of a 41-year-old before the test. After the 22-minute session, the changes he made to his body, chemistry and systems, now his body's mirroring that more of a 28-year-old. So a big difference, big shift right there for Randy. Now this is just a snapshot of what we just looked at, but it's showing it in this pie chart. His autonomic nervous system went from 59 to 99. His neurohormonal regulation 34 to 96. His cardiovascular adaptation 42 to 86. Psycho-emotional 34 to 96. So before the MindFit session, 42%. He was 30% less than a person his age. After the session, the 22-minute MindFit, 21% higher than the average person his age, checking in at 94%, boosting up all these systems. So again, as I told him, you really have to take advantage of the technology you have on a daily basis, because if you can bring these systems up, de-stress yourself, brain health is a must in this day and age. And here was his energy throughout the day. It gives you a little snapshot. So most of the time Randy's flying pretty high, but between 8 and 9 there's a little low ebb. And again, it starts to go down a little bit at 12:30 and goes. So during this 2 p.m. time, which is probably what I see normally, a lot of people could be 2 to 3. So there's low ebbs in most people, but that might be why a lot of cultures had tea time or siestas, and they just took breaks in the middle of the day to rejuvenate. With the technology we have, you can easily get yourself back to balance in just 20 minutes and get back to doing whatever you're doing. Now this is pretty much all we usually go over with a person. There are other things that you could do with this vital scan, HRV. You can do meridians. If you're an acupuncturist, there's Chinese medicine with the 5 elements. There's energy centers, chakras. There's also the aura. And you can do the Ayurveda with the doshas. So these we won't go into today, with the exception of this, because Randy does do acupuncture. So showed this to Randy, and in Randy's case, he had a total power of 1039. These are what his meridians were generating. After the 22-minute session, 5,004. So a normal range for the meridians would be, power-wise, would be 1,500 to 3,000. So he was able to bring that up 4 times what it was originally in just the 22 minutes. So that's going to make you feel a lot better, a lot more energy, getting the energy to systems, which is much more important, so that your body can function optimally. So these are all benefits that you can see on a physical level. But for Randy, he also was using self-mastery technology. While he's using the MindFit, we're also using self-mastery technology. And for those who aren't aware of it that might be watching this, all you have to do is go to self-masterytechnology.com. And when you get to the home page, you can just scroll down, and it shows you all these different categories that, while you're de-stressing, while you're getting your body chemistry and systems back to balance, and getting your health in an optimal range, you can also work on things that you might feel that are old, outdated, invalid, and don't apply anymore. Things you want to change, transforming your life in any one of these areas. So you're really getting 2 for 1, changing your life, changing your habits, your patterns, behaviors, and also having the opportunity to de-stress and get your system back to balance. If you want to know more about the MindFit, you can just go up to the top here, click on the MindFit tab, and that'll give you all the information about what Randy experienced. And if you want to contact us, for more information, just click the contact tab and you can go right here to the phone number 302-721-6677 extension 0, and that'll get you to the help desk, and they can answer any question you have and point you in the right direction. So thank you very much. That's all I have today.